You okay?
Honestly, man, not really. I um I spilled I spilled Coke on my Incredible Hulk 181. Yeah, it was like a really high grade. It was like 859 raw. I was gonna send it in to get CGC graded, and I just like that 5 seconds ruined it. All that money gone.
Do you hear that?
Thousands of dollars. Hear what?
I keep hearing every time you speak like a bunch of people laughing.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's probably just the theater of life that we're in, and the cruel audience as they watch us suffer through life.
Hey guys, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. This week we're going to be covering our polls for July 17th. Hopefully you guys are ready to get into it. But before we do that, let's do a quick shout out to our sponsor, Comic Universe. If you've been listening to this podcast or YouTube channel for a while now, you know that Comic Universe has been sponsoring us for a minute. Run by Mike and Mike, two really awesome guys. The shop is located at 446 McDade Boulevard in Folsom, PA. They have an amazing collection of comics, trades, hardcovers, dollar bins that honestly are a steal. And they got keys, graded books, so much stuff, Pokemon cards. Honestly, every time I go there, there's always new stuff. Always highly recommend checking it out. I'm hoping one day I go out there and there'll be a bunch of Beyblades. That would be really, really cool. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at you, Mike. Put some Beyblades in your shop.
Let it rip.
Anyway, thank you guys for sponsoring us. And thank you again, Mike and Mike, for helping us out.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and comment down below what you guys are excited to pull this week. Without further ado, Lucas, what is your first pick going to be?
My first pick is going to be Nightwing 116. We're getting to the end of Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo's final arc on Nightwing, which honestly has been a pretty game-changing Nightwing run. Been running for about almost 40 issues, I want to say. It's been a minute. Let me just double check real quick because he started on a really odd number, if I remember correctly. He started at 78. So by now it's been almost 50 issues. I can't math.
That's 40, right?
78.
What'd you say, 78?
78 minus
Yeah, it's
118. Okay, yeah, that's 40. So 40. Sorry,
You had it right 5 minutes ago.
But yeah, no, really, really interesting that they're doing this this final arc. But the final arc is called Fallen Grayson. And last issue we had a pretty cool thing where the main antagonist of this run, Heartless, has been kind of in the background for a minute. Finally gets the one up on Dick Grayson. Basically, he figures out that Dick Grayson's Nightwing. He killed everyone who realized that Dick Grayson was Nightwing when they were kidnapping him for a hostage situation, and pretty wild. And what they did was they had him dress up as Heartless, knocked him out, put him on a roof, and a bunch of cops showed up, and they removed his mask. So everyone now thinks that Heartless is him, which is crazy. Especially because Grayson has been now known as like a philanthropist within the city of Bloodhaven. He's kind of really made it his own. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting a Dead Man team up in the main book, which is really exciting. And the next arc seems to be pretty interesting in general. There has been this one plot point that's been kind of lingering on, which is Dick Grayson's random resurgence of fear of height. He's recently had like a lot of like problems jumping like off buildings and stuff recently. Still hasn't been explained if that's fully psychological or something that's been done to him, but it's interesting nonetheless. I'm really excited though to see where this is going to go, because if the next couple covers are interesting at all, or any indicator, it looks like we're going to be getting some shifts in the status quo, especially with the cover for 117 being Batman in the Nightwing costume, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, very cool. I've heard nothing but great things about this run. I'd be curious to see if they're going to reboot. It sounds like the way they're pitching this is that they're not going to restart the numbering,
I doubt it, to
because
be
it is pretty
honest.
impressive to have a Nightwing run in the hundreds. Um, but yeah, they are saying like Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo's final arc, so maybe they'll just keep it running with the same numbering.
I think
I'd be
so.
surprised, but that would be cool.
I think so, just because this number has been going on since DC Rebirth, and they've been pretty consistent with keeping certain characters numbering. I feel like so.
Yeah,
You know,
always hyped to see more Dead Man in the main books.
yeah, he's had some time recently with Nightwing in the Brave and the Bold series, so it's been interesting.
Yeah. Well, this if this is the main universe, right? Because Brave and the Bold is sort of like out of time
That's
stories. I'm
that
curious to
story
see how
though
they're going
is
to explain them and like kind of bring them back. Because in Night Terrors, like he was like dead for real, right?
yeah, that's true.
Ascended.
The story in Brave and the Bold had him before Night Terror, so yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I'm gonna be real.
It'd be cool if they explain it,
Yeah,
or maybe they just don't want to recognize Night Terrors ever happened. I don't know.
no, Tom Taylor would definitely recognize it. I feel like just because he's pretty good about acknowledging previous canonicities and events.
Word.
But yeah, anyway, Elias, what's your first poll?
First up for me this week is going to be Dark Knights of Steel All Winter #1. This is the
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to point.
hmm?
I have the poster for it.
Oh, this is the Elseworlds series that I'm most hyped for in this new line of Elseworlds books. If you guys haven't read it already, I really recommend all 12 issues and the one shot of Dark Knights of Steel. This is a medieval sword and sorcery take on the DC universe that definitely has lots of room to grow. 12 issues of the original volume definitely tackle a lot of stuff, cover a lot of characters, cover a lot of ground. But there's obviously still a lot of territories, parts of the world, stuff to tackle. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is going to be a look into looks like Wonder Woman, looks like Deathstroke. It's going to be some characters we haven't seen yet. So Jay Kristoff is I think kind of heading up the actual writing duties. Maybe has
Yeah,
some guidance from Tom. Maybe has some plot points from Tom. Some important stuff. And then we got Tirso Khan's on the art. I, for one, am just very excited to dive back into this universe. And yeah,
yeah, I'm definitely very interested, especially because um, with where we left off the universe, there's still so much more we could do, and getting Vikings in this medieval world is a cool twist. I think to shift away from the last volume.
yeah. I'm a big fan of historical fiction in general, and especially when you put some characters that I enjoy in there, it's definitely a hitter for me. So yeah, very excited to pick this up.
Yeah, I'm also noticing there. This is one thing I want to bring up real quick. The Elseworlds books seem to have the Detective Comics like opera esque, like box format on the cover, which I
Oh,
thought is
like the
pretty.
borders?
Yeah, like the borders. I'm noticing that recently, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, they're doing borders for the Elseworlds books. Yeah,
Yeah, I like it though. It distinguishes the series.
definitely a good idea.
But
Oh,
yeah,
and Tirso is the cover artist as well. So actually, yeah,
oh,
this
that's
is
sick. Oh, we love that.
very promising.
We love seeing the cover artist actually be in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found that funny that Detective Comics has the same exact kind as that. So
Hmm.
the reveal that Detective Comics has always been an Elseworld story.
They might
It's always been not canon.
at this rate.
I mean, at this point, it makes no sense timeline wise with the Batman book. I'm gonna just be real.
Right. So, all right, Lucas, what is your next pick?
My next pick is Superman number 16. Um, he dead. He dead. That's. I mean, what else is there to say? Man got shot twice.
Yeah.
And John got fucking dragged away by his cape.
Yep.
fucking all of them are just fucking either dead or on the back foot.
Yeah, I thought they were going to leave him in a promising position, but no. No one was able to help Clark, get to a place of safety. He's, I mean, I'm sure he was, apprehended by, Waller's people, but they didn't show that yet. So I'm going to be very curious to see where this issue puts him.
Yeah, so I read Batman, and while I didn't have much really, the only two things that were really important in the Batman side story was Clark was already in the Fortress of Solitude in the black suit. That was just like random, which felt like it's like a time jump, but like out of order. And then Batman went to Cyborg's Titan's Tower because Cyborg was jacked into the Titan's Tower trying to defend against the everything.
The broadcast.
Yeah, against the broadcast, but it was too strong. And we got the idea that a mother box is somehow involved with the broadcast. And then one of the Amazos, one of the seven, grabbed Cyborg. So, but yeah, I don't know where it takes place, like timeline wise, because it was a little bit weird. Because it was also an anniversary issue.
Oh, okay.
So they had that as a backup story, quote unquote.
Right. Yeah, that's always going to be the problem with event books, is just scheduling the releases of each book and making sure that they don't conflict, and sometimes that happens. It's annoying, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what a way to kick off the event, though. To immediately,
absolute power number 1, very strong.
Yeah, I can't wait to read the rest of this event because, yeah, and it seems like we're gonna have Zatanna in the book, so I don't know how the fuck Waller's gonna neutralize Zatanna, but I mean, she has Black Alice, I guess, so maybe use her. That'd be like the only way I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, pretty wild.
Word.
What's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is the Invincible Iron Man number 20. This is the final issue of this volume of Iron Man. It's been a wild ride. Jerry Duggan, got a lot of stuff done. Really, this was, funnily enough, mostly an important book for the X lore during the Krakoan era. That at the end of the day is kind of what this accomplished, what this really was setting up all along. I mean, Fei Long has been the enemy of this book the whole time. Tony definitely gave Fei Long his just desserts.
I was surprised by that decision to have him throw Fei Long in a fucking grave and just bury him.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
There's no way he committed to that, right? Like, there's no way he actually did that. That's got to be like mental symbolism from Emma or some shit. Like,
yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But I think it would be a cool plot point to have an actual brutal punishment for Fei Long after all that. But yeah, I'd be curious to see if they follow up on that. But yeah, this is gonna tie up our loose ends. Last issue was pretty funny. War Machine recruited the bar with no name, basically, and just
ruined our tier
had
list.
them conquer all the Sentinels and Orcus in the city, and he was rightfully pissed at Tony. So now this issue looks like it's gonna see where we leave Tony and Emma. I know what to expect, but I'll be disappointed every time when they break him up with his girlfriend of that volume. Pretty unfortunate.
If I had a nickel for every time Tony Stark broke up with a character during the end of their volume, I'd have way more than 2 nickels.
Every volume. Yeah, way more. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see how this wraps up. It's been a strong run. Very curious to see what the future holds for Tony, because as of right now, we don't have any solicit for another Iron Man series starting. So it'll be a nice break, honestly.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. I don't mind taking a break from Iron Man for a little bit, just because. I mean, that is the kind of the tough thing with Tony is that if you change his status quo, you affect the Avengers book, you affect every other book surrounding him. So it's kind of tough at times to really have him do some earth shattering stuff without like, involving other people. So it'll be nice to have a little bit of a break while Blood Hunt and everything else wraps up.
We should place bets on how long he's going to keep his current suit of armor on.
Ooh, okay. Are we
Once
talking
this
about
book comes out.
in his next run, or how long like Avengers
How long
issues?
just in universe, in Marvel, in comics. So if this, so what, July 10th, right? No, not
Okay,
17th,
so
excuse me. So from July 17th, how long is he going to, or is he just going to get rid of the suit in that issue? Because he might, he might just get rid of the suit in that issue.
no way. That'd be bonkers if he just.
I don't,
Because then
doubt
that
it.
would make Blood Hunt happen before the Orcus, which would be even more fucked timeline wise. But
I don't
I
think
gotta
it
say,
even fucking
I gotta
matters anymore.
say, in our in universe, I give it 6 months.
In real time.
Yeah, in real time, I give it 6 months. So like 6 issues.
6 months. That's pretty good. I'm gonna say like 4.
That's valid. I think yeah. I don't think it's gonna be.
I think after
sticking
Blood
around.
Hunt, they're just gonna
I
drop it.
like the suit, but I know some people were like fucking bitching and moaning about its design. But I
No,
like
I
it.
like
It's
it.
different. It's
Yeah,
different, which
I'm
is
fine with it.
exactly what I want.
Mm-hmm. Anywho,
There's only so
let's
many
move
times
on.
you can redesign the classic armor.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Lucas, what's your next pick?
My next pick is Batman Superman World's Finest. So in one book we have Superman dead, and then in the other book we have Batman dead. Truly the dichotomy of man.
Wasn't he just transformed into an imp? Wasn't that what Doom Might did to
I
him?
thought he got fucking smited. No. Jimmy got turned into an imp. He got fucking
No. Like the very last panel, I thought he got transformed into an imp. He basically like just rearranged his atoms and turned him into an imp. That's what I gleaned from it.
I just thought he like killed him straight up. But yeah,
No, I think it was just a terrifying transformation thing. Dan's been doing a couple
body horror
things in this run, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's
Arc.
I don't like how comfortable he's getting with fucking up Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
I think this is just a precursor to what he's going to do in Absolute Power.
Yeah, right.
Which is very, very concerning. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, no. This series has been. I mean, what else do we have to fucking say about this series? Like, it's good. It's good. Go home. It's good.
Read it.
Read it. Like 29 issues for a series that probably was never intended to be a long running thing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that it's 29 issues now. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
The series started all the way back in 2022.
Yeah. Robin's holding him, and he looks like an imp, or he's shrunken. He could be a puppet. He could be an imp. Oh no, wait, it is a puppet. Yeah, he turns him into a puppet.
He turns him into a puppet. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just smokes him.
But yeah, if I had to take a guess, if I had to take a stab at what this cover means, this cover right here, we're getting the Combo Man's Batman Superman back. What's his name? Fuck. God damn it. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
I always forget his name.
From the very first arc.
No, not even that. It's the other from the 90s.
Okay, the old shit. Okay.
Composite Superman, that was it.
Right.
Why is it called Composite Superman? Bro. Such a way to fuck
love.
over Batman.
No love.
It's like he's contributing nothing.
Mm-hmm. I really like the last issue for the Batmite stuff. Batmite took Superman and Batman through the different dimensions. And that was a really fun play on the art styles and what the second and first dimension looked like. So there was some really cool stuff last issue.
Yeah, he gave them glimpses of the future, which was cool. Yeah, this is the end of this arc.
He was surveying all these different universes, right?
Well, that was most of them were the ones that we saw were the future stuff that happens to them later on in the series, and like
Huh.
because the thing is like the thing with World's Finest is that it takes place so long back timeline
Mm,
wise, so like they have that like cushion room of being like, hey, you'll get eventually another Robin, you'll get this and this, like stuff that we know that happens for us
mm,
has happened a long time ago, but for these characters have not.
mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah,
So
this will be the final issue. I hope we get some more info on this Doomite, get some reveal on him, some twist.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited to finish up this arc.
yeah, it'll definitely be very interesting. What's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Incredible Hulk number 14. This is going to be continuing Hulk's quest to free Charlie's soul from the frozen Charlotte doll. I really enjoyed the little Dr. Voodoo run in. Nick Klein drawing Dr. Voodoo, definitely an amazing thing. I'm just happy to see Hulk interacting with more supernatural characters. Anytime we get some Dr. Voodoo time also is just great. He's a more obscure, but nonetheless very powerful sorcerer in the Marvel Universe. But yeah, he was unsuccessful in saving Charlie at Strange Academy and now has to continue his quest. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last Nick Klein issue for a couple issues. But anytime Nick is on here, he kills it. So yeah, I'm excited to
Yeah,
get into this issue.
yeah, it just seems like the next 3 issues, if I can see correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but still should be interesting nonetheless. Next up for me is Ultimate X-Men number 5. Um, this series really picked up last issue. I'm not gonna lie, this series really hit the ground running last issue. We got the reveal of the Shadow King. We got the reveal of Armor showing off her powers in front of everyone. It being leaked that she's a mutant. We got a reveal of Nico, Surge, all these different characters. Really, it seems like Japan is just mutant capital. I'm not gonna lie, which is pretty wild. So, but I'm very excited because now Armor has her identity revealed to the world. So this is going to be the first time where basically we're going to have to deal with the repercussions of mutants being a thing. Um, but yeah, no, I've been really liking this series. It's very different from what I think most people expected it to be, but I've been enjoying it, honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to drop this. I couldn't hang on for the ride. It's a slow burn, and it's very much like an artsy book, which, like I've said before, is great. But it's better suited to, when Peach had her own universe to work with, a Demon Days universe, where she could just flex her artistic muscles, do whatever she wants. But it just, if you're saying it took 4 issues for them to really like kick off into the ultimate universe of mutants, I couldn't hang on for the ride. But that's just me.
Yeah. But either way, this is the second to last issue before the first arc closes, so I'm definitely excited to see where this is going to go.
Word.
But yeah, what's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is an unexpected book. That is Namor number 1. I'm really excited about this. I love Namor. I'm always happy to see him get more screen time. And we got one of my favorite Marvel writers, Jason Aaron, working on this. This is an 8-issue mini. Interesting thing to solicit up front. But yeah, it's going to be 8 issues. So I know that Jason has a set idea for this. This is definitely an unexpected book. I'm curious to see if we're going to deal with where Namor, is right after the Krakoan era, where this is going to pick up. Because on this cover here, we see Namor in bad shape.
Yeah,
So
he's fucked.
yeah, so I'm very curious to see what this book is going to tackle. The Solicit is defining this as an epic. They're saying this is going to be a redefining chapter for Namor. So I'm very curious to see what this book holds, because I definitely really enjoy Namor series, and definitely enjoy most Namor miniseries that clearly
Yeah.
have a mission.
It's saying it's going to be similar to Jason Aaron's Punisher run, which I also really enjoyed. Um, so yeah, now I'm definitely excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's high praise. I hope it lives up to that.
I think Jason Aaron's better when he's working with individual characters than when he's working with a team, to be honest.
That's fair.
I really like his solo work when he has time to deep dive into a character, but
Yeah,
didn't
big
like
time.
his Avengers run.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas. That brings us to your top pick this week.
Yeah, my top pick this week is I Heart Skull Crusher #5. This series, amazing. Genuinely phenomenal. Not a single issue has been weak or lacking. Every single issue has hit so hard. The art is amazing. The writing is phenomenal. And this is the last issue for what we thought was going to be the series in general, but it got boosted, and now it's going to be an ongoing, which is pretty crazy. So our next arc is going to start in October. But yeah, no, it's been amazing. They're doing a battle royale with Skullcrusher as the main hunter, basically. But yeah, every character has been really unique. Every character has been fun. Trini and her teammates are such a fun team. They have a goalie. They have a bear as a goalie for some fucking reason, but it's just like funny, goofy fun. Um, but it takes itself seriously. Also, at the same time, it doesn't feel kiddie. It's so good. It's so well written. It's written by the person that's doing the current Shazam book, Josie Campbell, and Alessio Zono. Man, I need to see more of their art because holy fuck, their art is so kinetic. It is so fucking easy to read. It is so good. Honestly, it is impressive how good this art is. So I am very, very excited to see where this first arc is going to end. Because we finally got to meet Skullcrusher, and she's basically everything that Trini opposes. Trini, who has always had a crush on Skullcrusher as like a role model, is realizing that Skullcrusher doesn't believe in teamwork, doesn't believe in any of that shit, and is completely fine with literally everyone dying as long as she gets the goal. So the exact opposite of Trini. So yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, this is the first Boombox series to be really successful in a long time. It's an imprint that is aimed towards, a younger audience. So it's cool to see that it's so well done and that it's going to keep going.
Yeah, it goes to show that you don't have to make it quote unquote kiddie to be good for kids. Like there's weird zombies, there's like blood. Surprisingly, there's this really actually kind of horrifying moment where someone injects with Trini with poison, and the poison makes blood come out of all her orifices, like her eyes, her mouth, and her nose. And it's like, oh, okay, we're just showing this. Okay, cool. Pretty wild. So
Word.
it's pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
And what's your top pick, Elias?
My top pick for this week is going to be Wonder Woman #11. I really enjoyed last issue, deep dive into Cheetah and Wonder Woman's relationship. Really cool, just isolated story. Definitely not how I was expecting the current chapter of Wonder Woman's conflict to end.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited about this issue because this is going to be an absolute power tie-in, and I'm very curious to see what she gets up to, being depowered. We saw her in Absolute Power #1. I guess she just went back to America because that's where they placed her in Absolute 1. But we'll have to get some more explanation on that because she was still with the Wonder Girls, still with Cheetah when we left her in issue 10. So yeah, I'm excited, to read more Absolute Power goodness and to see where this puts Diana after, such a already intense chapter in her life, right into, the fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be absolutely fucking hilarious. Just how apocalyptic her situation has become within like the span of like 3 months, at least in her time. But yeah, also absolutely amazing scene of them trying to find the invisible jet. So good, so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I also will mention that this issue is going to have her work with the Justice League Dark, which is exciting. I forgot that they were with her in the Absolute Power 1 issue. So I'll be excited to see her return to that group. You know, Detective Chimp. Hopefully we get some Swamp Thing, some of those guys. So yeah, excited to pick this one up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very, very excited.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to bring us to the end of our weekly polls for July 17th. Thanks so much for tuning in. Everything we said at the beginning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read some comics.
Bye bye.